You can't gain wisdom without participating in something.
I was actually raised Methodist, with a little bit of Catholic influence in
Guilt?
there.
Guilt.
Yeah, Catholic guilt. I mean,
The
I am
rituals,
Filipino.
mystic ties use symbolism to teach Masons to achieve union with the divine. Do you guys agree with that statement?
A actual Freemason and chapter companion, right?
Yeah.
Is he sitting in clandestine lodge with Chinese Freemasons, even though they're not really Freemasons?
This guy
Is this
pretty
like Chinatown Freemasonry?
much. Yeah,
Yeah.
basically.
Everyone knows when birds don't go anywhere in the air, it's the Matrix.
See,
I mean, that's the nicest clandestine manner, possibly.
The views expressed in this presentation are those of the host and guests and do not represent the views of any lodge, Grand Lodge, appended body, or any other person or persons whomsoever.
Brethren, we are at refreshment.
Welcome, everyone, to the At Refreshment Masonic video podcast. Well, as you can see, I'm here with Mark, Brock, and what's your name? Oh, yeah, Eric.
The Maxa.
This is going to be episode 2 of what we're calling the Reddit files.
Red shirt
So-
Reddit.
Yeah, well, we forgot to wear red shirts like that last episode. So, but
That was
Coordination.
it was a weird coincidence.
yeah, no, it wasn't. So, what we're going to do is just, I don't know, I guess find the interesting things we find on Reddit that is about Freemasonry. And is that what we're doing?
yeah.
I mean, just the interesting things we find on Freemasonry on
Why
Reddit,
not?
because
Reddit.
everybody's got an opinion on Reddit. From
Yeah, I'm
Wow.
prepared to lose 4 hours of my life and feel like it's 10 minutes.
yeah. If you haven't noticed, Reddit is filled with a lot of varying opinions on a lot of
It's not-
subjects.
The world is filled with a lot of varying opinions on different subjects.
Yeah, I'm being nice. I don't know why, but people just think of the most screwiest shit and put it on fucking Reddit. That's that's pretty much what it is.
And that
It
is how I
is.
lose 4 hours a day pooping.
Because like Marty, he even found that one thing about Rosa Parks being a time traveler or some shit like that too.
She
That
was.
That was on Reddit. So
Yeah, she was.
all right. Well, Mark, what do you have for
Birds
us?
aren't real.
Okay. Yeah, birds aren't real. Oh my gosh.
Oh, well,
okay.
okay. Well, they might not, because when we were driving back from Louisiana, Brock, do you remember? It was so damn cold driving back, and it was so windy. There was a bird up in the air, just like stuck, flapping its wings, not going anywhere.
Duh. It was cold and it was frozen.
No, it was the
Yeah.
Matrix.
It was just gliding, frozen.
Everyone knows when birds don't go anywhere in the air, it's the Matrix. So, anyways, Mark.
So the first one I have here, I honestly don't remember why I put this on here, but let me share my screen here, and I think
Share it.
yeah, it's one of those things I'm obviously making sure my my subreddits that I'm subscribed to is not being shown.
Oh no, this is the Reddit files. Anything goes.
Yeah,
Someone's been looking at 4chan.
All right, so here's a first
Wait,
one
we
here.
could switch it to 4chan.
No, please don't.
Yeah, seriously. All right, so it's basically like, how compatible is Baptist Christianity with Freemasonry? I honestly, I put it on there. I'm not going to deny that. I just don't remember why I threw it up on there. I don't know if it's because I know we always hear the Catholics, fighting basically with amongst themselves, inside themselves, that how compatible Freemasonry is to Catholicism, but I've never heard of anything really with the Baptist Church. For the record, I'm not a Baptist. I was actually raised Methodist. With a little bit of Catholic influence in
Guilt?
there.
Guilt.
Yeah, Catholic guilt. I mean, I am Filipino, so there's somewhat kind of Catholic in me, but I'm just not entirely sure why I have it here.
Is it a priest? Please don't let it be a priest.
Well, when I first read the first part, I'm like, okay, that's weird. I thought they had an issue from the beginning with Freemasonry.
Yeah.
But according to this, they weren't sure if they did, or at least this particular sect of
Well, I mean,
Baptists.
the way I'm reading this and the way I have read things like this is that it depends on what viewpoint you're looking from. If you're looking from the Baptist side, it kind of doesn't favor, but if you're looking from the Freemasonry side, we all know, as we are Freemasons, that we don't believe in a singular supreme being,
Yeah,
right? It's a fraternity of all faith.
I
it is.
think after reading this again,
Yeah,
I
I
think
know
they set this
several
guy up.
Baptist
They just wanted him gone. They wanted him excommunicated,
I mean, I can believe that.
and this was the perfect, this was the perfect thing to get rid of him. I'm proud. I wouldn't doubt it.
No, not at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah, and like as much as I love our Baptist brethren, I know some of them could get really, really like I guess fundamental for lack of a better term.
I was
You
going to
know,
say passionate. Yeah.
they're very
Pa-
passionate. They're
but
very
we're
passionate.
we're supposed to be learning to subdue our passions.
We are. But I think what scares people is the fact that we're calling of men of different faiths under basically one house. Whether it's you believe in God or Allah or Buddha or whatever your faith is. I think it scares just like the normies.
But see, the thing is like if you look at how we do things from our perspective, we don't call upon faith unless it's making a pact or a covenant with something, and usually that's with yourself and your God, right? If you're swearing something to your God, your belief in that God is what holds that truth.
Okay.
Other than that, we really don't encourage politics or religion inside of Masonry.
No,
Well,
no.
Well, let's read this so everyone knows what we're talking about, because we kind of just read it on our own and started talking about it. So this was only 2 months ago by, well, Chuck I guess the guy's name is. All right. Years ago, the Southern Baptist Convention tasked one of their members to investigate, well, that question. Okay.
No, I
Well, the
think the
question is,
question is just how compatible is Baptist
yeah.
Christianity with
Okay. So
Freemasonry.
that's the main
Chuck
question.
so Chuck
It's not just the
I
title. Okay.
yeah, so Chuck I responded.
And well, they want to investigate that question, which this sounds very vague, so who knows. All right, anyways, he did his due diligence and came to conclusion that there was no conflict and that Freemasonry could be beneficial to Baptist men. The church buried his report and fired him and his wife. Well, that's very kind of them. They had the answer they wanted to hear, and it wasn't the one he gave them. He later became a Mason and was elected Grand Master of the Grand Lodge of Georgia. The thing is that I can't confirm this. I really have no idea. It's a very vague story.
Hearsay.
It's all hearsay.
It would, I guess, it would be pretty cool if it is true. But let's see. There's an edit here. I saw. Please send me thoughts in the comments below. I don't know.
Get
I want to read the
vaporized.
whole thing.
Yeah, you're about to fall into the Reddit trap.
Yeah. So I don't know. So let's just take this story at face value. All right. A Baptist convention. Oh, okay. It tasked one of its members. Well, that could be anybody. But then they claim it's a Grand Master. Well, who could this
Of
be?
Georgia.
Yeah, and I, I don't know. I've never heard this story before. I am going to question it, but somehow I don't doubt this because, well, I'm just going off my
Gut.
no, just the Catholic knowledge, the Catholic Church not liking us, and everyone usually following suit with them. Oh, Freemasons are bad, so we're the hell with them. So I wouldn't doubt it, but why wouldn't they know this after all these years? Is my question. So
Yeah.
the story is just kind of, I don't know.
In general, I think, we don't push faith because each individual person's faith may guide them in their own direction, but each Mason's journey is his own,
It is.
right? It's not up to me to make Mark's journey. It's not up to Mark to make Brock's journey. It's not up to Brock to make Wes's journey, but it is up to Wes to make all of our journeys.
And our journey leads us here to Riverside.
Riverside.
Yeah.
No, but all in all, I think that's the most important part of why I think Freemasonry doesn't push religion down everyone's throat is because it is up to the individual Mason to form his own journey.
Yeah.
Well, why would we force anybody to believe something? I mean, everybody comes on their own. You have to ask to be a Freemason, or at
exactly.
least that's how it's supposed to start. Okay, you have to ask. Everything
your
is
own
of
free
your
will
own
and accord.
volition. We don't teach dogma. Why would we? We're not actively
all right, you're
looking
kind of already
for
be
followers. We're
established
for
before you
members.
try to.
What was that, Brock?
Well, all right, you're kind of supposed to be already religiously kind of established before you come with a belief in a supreme being kind of thing.
Well, and again, that falls into I believe the reasoning behind having to have an established faith coming in is because when you take your tenets, your oath,
Yeah,
you're
it's
doing it
obli-
under the guise your obligation is with your supreme being that
yeah.
you follow. That's why we
Well,
have the Bible on the altar
Well,
is to represent that great light. It's a rule of a sacred law.
does everybody do like we do in Illinois when you come in, you have to like do a kneel and a prayer kind of thing, I mean, it's not an out loud prayer. People do it silent or out loud or whatever, but I mean,
at which point?
Like the third degree.
A
well,
first
just
degree.
Well,
yeah,
Indiana's. When I saw
When you
Indiana's,
very first,
Oh, first, yeah,
I would
you're
assume
talking about in the
almost
first
every
degree.
state probably does that.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
Yeah, you're talking
I
about
wanna
in the
say
first
so.
degree. Okay.
Yeah.
I
I
believe so.
I remember seeing Wisconsin. I think they did, and I believe Iowa did as well too.
Well, Maxa, I'm gonna argue that point. The established religion here in Illinois, it just says, do you believe that there's a supreme being, or do you have faith, or however it's worded, in a supreme being? And
Okay.
that's the end of it. We don't ask
it's
about
very
religion.
basic.
It is
We
basic to
don't ask
establish,
about
but
religion.
it
So you
also
don't.
ties into the fact that we don't approve. You can't be a Mason if you're an atheist. It's in the obligation.
No, you can't. But
Yeah.
I'm going to go with established as a
And-
religious conviction. Okay, you
Okay.
subscribe to a religion.
Religious
we
conviction.
we don't
But
tell anybody that you have to
it
be
also-
of this faith or of the other.
It also supplants that you probably come up with that during the investigation.
But I'm going to say we will take the guys that aren't established in a religion, and they find a home with us, or even if they are in an established religion, they still find a home with us. So I'm going to say I don't think it's just for the established guy of faith. I think it's for the guy that believes, but he's just not sure where his place
I
in
mean, you
that
could
kind
have
of a world
theists
is.
and other stuff,
Yeah, you can have faith in a supreme being and not be
Yeah.
subscribed to a particular religion.
Right.
But again, that also probably plays into when you're doing your investigation, something like that might come up where the lodge that you're intending to partake of would ask what your religion is or what your faith is or what your belief is possibly. And if they're accepting of that, then they'll approve. But again, if you don't have if you don't believe in a supreme being and you're taking a compact with nothing, there's nothing holding you to that tie.
There isn't.
Well, I forgot.
So,
where I
like,
was gonna
that's
go
like
with
when
that.
people choose the holy book they like on the altar, that's another kind of conversation for that to be had,
Correct.
during, that, when you're interviewing the candidate, to inform them on that and ask them, what would you like to have on there? Or is there, so they're not, you get there and they're like, yeah, can I put like
The
satanic
Tale of Two Cities. Can I put the Tale of Two Cities on there? Because I don't believe
Yeah.
in a God.
big Iran fan? Can I throw that on there?
You just did. Yeah, I don't know. All right, what else you got for us, Mark?
All
I think we beat
right.
that to
So
a
next
dead
one
horse.
here is, let me share the screen again.
But you did make a good point, Wes. I understand what you're talking about, where a person can be faithful without having a specific faith.
Right.
Yeah.
I and I will say for myself, I kind of fall into that now with all the stuff that I've been talking about on our show about my ex-Mormon faith now. So
All right, next one here is Lodge of Sorrows. This is from Dark Upquark. Uh, looks like he's a past master, junior warden, 4 letters from the Grand Lodge of Nebraska, I believe. GLNE. I want to say Nebraska. Wondering if Lodge of Sorrows. Wondering if our practice is common. We open Lodge of Sorrows in January. Then next January, read names and pray for deceased brethren from past year. Close lodge from previous year. Then open for the next.
To their
So
lodge meeting is a whole year?
I don't. I'm not entirely
I've
sure
heard
how
people doing
this
that before.
works. Um, but I'm thinking, like, I know for us, for Illinois, it's just more of, or at least one of the lodges, I was part of is basically during the annual, we read everybody who was deceased between the last annual and that annual.
Oh, okay.
we used to do
Like the
something.
Scottish Rite does that to pass the lamb.
We
Hmm.
used to do something he, for my lodge when Herb years ago. Herb used to do it. He didn't call it a lodge of sorrow or a lodge of remembrance or anything. It was just I forget, memorial. It was just a lodge memorial for the guys that have passed away in the last 10 years that may have been forgotten or that were special to lodges. And most of the districts would participate, and we'd sit down a rows for each name for a brother or a lady of the lodge that had passed away. It was a nice thing. It was pretty neat, but I haven't seen it in years. We just called it a memorial. We didn't call it Lodge of Sorrows. So I don't know if it's the same thing.
Yeah, I've never seen the Lodge of Sorrows performed or opened or anything like that. That's my first experience with Lodge of Sorrows. Do I think it's a good idea? I think it's a great idea. I've
Yeah, I
never
think
seen it
so too.
performed.
Yeah, I've just heard of it, but I didn't know it was open for a year and then closed and then reopened for. I mean, I guess that does make sense,
Well,
but
because
just
I've
seeing it
also
on
heard
here
of the
sounds
other,
weird.
like, I think it's open that way, so that you don't open every time and then close every time, right? Because like how we hang the black shroud and stuff like that. Would you open it then and then read the name and then close it again? And like, how's the alternative way of doing it?
I am not sure. I'm thinking it's like I'm thinking it's more of like, hey, let's just read the names and then we'll just leave the drape open. I don't know.
I'm gonna probably ask one of the McCarthys next time I see them, which are
Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder if it was ever practiced here in Illinois and just forgotten about, or just never was practiced in Illinois. Because I know at Raven, we do put a black drape over the lodge's not constitution. What is it? What am I thinking? Charter
You shroud
when
the
someone
charter. Yeah.
passes. But I don't recall every lodge doing that because not every lodge will have the ability to do that.
our charters on the wall.
Well, yeah, because if you have a building and you have a couple lodges that meet there, some guys don't have their charter up. Like, okay, for Azure Lagrange, since we meet at Riverside Lodge, our charter is in a tube, in a stainless steel tube, and we bring it out every meeting, so we can't drape it.
Oh, okay, I understand. So it's pretty much it would be kind of a restricted practice to lodges that own a building.
I would think so, but I don't know for sure. I mean, obviously, it is restricted because if you don't have your charter up on the wall, what can you do?
Right.
So, I don't. Mark is. Speaking of which, Mark, what do grottos do?
Oh, for passed away prophets?
Yeah.
Um Honestly, I do not know, because I mean, thankfully in Shael we haven't really had anybody pass away.
Yeah, we've had
And
more
I don't
guys
remember. I don't remember
leave than
what we
die.
did when I was in El Jal. I think it was more of we had a black drape, and then we just read their name, and then just like did a moment of silence.
Well, if
Shroud
there's
the
any
owl.
if
Yeah.
there's any grotto members out there watching this or listening, let us know what your grotto does.
His name was Robert Paulson.
Yeah, I'm interested. I thought it was O'Doyle.
Bob's got bitch tits.
Yeah. Never mind.
All right. So here's a couple more quick ones that I'm gonna share.
My dad loved that movie because he actually had a friend named Robert Paulson.
That's
Did he?
awesome.
Yeah.
Did he look like Meatloaf?
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. So another quick one here. Manny Pacquiao got initiated as entered apprentice. I actually was talking to the Grandmaster of Hawaii and Arkansas, and I guess like it's not really like a conspiracy. It was just more of like I guess just the way he joined because obviously Freemasonry in the Philippines is big, and it's like you got to pay a lot of money just to turn in your petition and then work for being basically from a petitioner to your first degree and then obviously second, third or whatever. So I mean like it's a very dedicated thing. It's not just any, Joe Schmo walking off the street that, that gets an apron in the Philippines. It's it's like you gotta actually have to have money for this. So but I in the talking with the Grandmaster of Hawaii, there was just some reason like it was like one of those things where it's just like Manny kind of like did it backwards way, but he's in the fraternity, so
Manny,
good
you're on a
on him.
first name basis with him.
Yeah, I know, right? Seriously.
When Manny went through,
Well, so my question, this post says it's from
When's he coming
2008.
on the show? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
What
this
is
post
Manny
says,
coming?
has Pacquiao finished his degrees or has he only gone through his first degree?
I think it's just his first degree so far.
Because this was created October 8th, October 2008.
Which one? Really?
Yeah, it says right there, created October 1st,
No.
2008.
This is the Freemasonry subreddit was created 2008.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. This is just 2008. So
No,
I was like, this guy's a time traveler, man. He looks younger now. I'm like,
right.
what?
Some insiders told me, and I don't know how true it is, that he actually was on the waiting list for like 3 years.
Okay.
I don't know how true that is. Again, that's just hearsay.
Right.
So, next post here, Grand Lodge of Arkansas just decided, just voted to recognize Prince Hall.
You know what? Kudos
Wait,
to
who
them.
did? Who just?
Arkansas.
Arkansas? Okay.
Yeah,
Good,
79 to
good,
21.
good.
Not Mississippi.
Yeah. Yeah, it says 2 states left, so I honestly don't know which other 2 states. Let me see if there's any
20% nay. How is this still a thing?
Yeah, okay, yeah, here's Mississippi. Let's see if we can find the other state. Oh, here you go. Oh, South Carolina. I knew it. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I had
So how many states are dissenting from recognizing Prince Hall?
2, Mississippi and South
2.
Carolina.
That's it?
Yeah.
No more.
Yeah, basically. So Mississippi just had theirs yesterday or whatever, and they voted no. And I'm not sure about South Carolina. I actually had a past master, excuse me, move out to South Carolina, and he wanted to join a lodge. So he's like, okay, yeah, there's one, 10 minutes away from me.
Go down 2 more, and it says West Virginia and Louisiana too.
No, but look at this guy. He says both states recognize Prince Hall Masonry, but not the local most worshipful Prince Hall Grand Lodge of their state.
Wait. I gotta put on. Read that again because I gotta put on.
Both of these states recognize Prince Hall Masonry, but not the local most worshipful Prince Hall Grand Lodge of their state.
So they recognize PHA, but they don't recognize the PHA of their state.
Okay.
Which I think is still asswards, but
Yeah. So no, but anyways, so the Grandmaster basically, or not Grandmaster, my past master was like, "Hey, I want to join some lodge here in South Carolina," and he didn't know anything about the history, and they were talking about, I guess, came up with Prince Hall, and they said, "Yeah, we don't recognize him," and he's like, "Peace out," and never went
Yeah.
back. So, uh, so I got actually a couple TikToks here. Let me know if this you can hear the sound here.
No, you guys aren't hearing it.
where's your glasses, Brock?
When I jack off, I think about your mom.
Oh, I can hear it now.
Huh?
Can you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if I was stuck in a room with you, Hitler,
That's
and
weird,
Saddam
'cause I can't hear
Hussein
it on
with
my
3
end.
bullets in a gun, I shoot you twice, then shoot myself for even fucking killing you. Huh?
Hey, what's going on, man? Hey, so that friend of yours, tell me about him.
Yeah, he's a great man. Warrior. He's a great father. Wonderful person to be around. I've known him for so long. He's genuinely a good guy, great even, I would say. There's not much in this world I wouldn't do for him. I'd actually take a bullet for him. It's just
This is how I talk about Wes.
I can't hear it.
all right, y'all. I'm gonna get the fuck out of here.
How can you not hear it? I can
I
hear
don't
it.
have. I have no idea, but I
bitch,
cannot
you.
hear it at all.
I hear
You
it.
hold it down.
I'm
Is it
hearing
done?
I'm touching your kids with your pearl.
Is it
out
done?
Kids, you fucking sick fuck. Oh yeah? Well, guess what? When I jack off, I think about your mama and your granny. Huh? Oh yeah? Well, if I was stuck in a room with you, Hitler, and Saddam Hussein with 3 bullets in a gun,
Oh my
I
God.
shoot you twice, then shoot myself for even fucking knowing you.
Wow.
Huh?
They've captured us so well.
Hey, so that friend of yours,
Hey,
tell me about
you should
him.
probably
Yeah,
pause
he,
it, Wes.
All right, let me.
All right, Wes.
Let me stop. All right.
No, so I put that on there because I mean, like, obviously,
How did
with
they
especially
capture
for-
our chat?
Yeah, I know, right? Seriously, but I mean, like, it's true because I mean, like, it's the way we talk to each other, and I always just joke. I'm like, listen, like, if I'm making fun of you, I love you, but if I'm actually being cordial, like, then
Be careful. Tread lightly.
yeah, then be careful. You know, because I mean, hell, like, look at the way that we always talk about Yoshi.
Oh,
You know?
fuck. The things we do to Yoshi.
Yeah, seriously. You know, so I always just thought that was this kind of poetic, and just that guy captures our group chat.
It's true. It's true. We to each other's faces, we will talk most disparagingly.
Yeah.
We will just trounce on each other and just keep going. But if anybody outside this group asked, I would just talk endearingly about every one of you.
Oh yeah.
You know, Wes, to everyone outside our group that I talk to on a daily basis, who actually sometimes watches our podcast because I make them. It's good to be the boss.
Yeah, I wasn't listening to a damn
you
word
are
you
one of
said.
the
I was trying to
most-
listen to the TikTok.
Oh,
But you can continue.
Yeah, I was like, to everybody else that doesn't know us, you are one of the most wise and humble people I've ever met.
Oh, wait, what? Who's telling you these things?
No. I'm telling this to people outside the group, but to your face, you look like Obadiah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that TikTok was pretty funny. I don't know why you guys could hear it and I couldn't. I had to watch it.
I heard it. I heard it.
Yeah,
I couldn't hear it.
Yeah, Brock, did you hear it?
Yeah.
Sounds like Grandpa West needs to turn up his hearing aid.
Yeah. No. Well, so I was watching it while you guys were talking, and
It's
I'm
probably
not
because
jerking off to your grandmothers. I'm like, all right,
Brock just got it.
All right, so play this next one. It's actually pretty. It kind of goes with just like us life in general, and how time seems to really go by real quick. And I think I just uploaded this not too long ago. And yeah, just go ahead and play it, and I'll do my commentary afterwards.
All right, give me a second. Let me try and reset this. Okay.
Just remember, Mark, you owe me $60 for those shrooms.
Mm-hmm.
You got ripped.
I mean, It's not bad. It's getting better.
All right.
The belly's gone down a bit.
She starts off, as you notice.
The older you get, the faster time moves. What if it's actually not just a feeling? Okay, so when you're 10 years old, 1 year is 10% of your life. When you're 50, it's just 2%. Your brain doesn't measure time in seconds. Rather, it measures it in proportion to how long you've been alive. So basically, every year literally feels shorter than the last. But there also is a second reason time accelerates. And this one is kind of worse, to be honest with you. Okay, so your brain only encodes memories when something is new. I mean, the first time you drive to work, it's a rich, detailed memory. The 500th time, your brain doesn't even bother recording it. And this is called chunking, which is essentially your brain compressing routine into nothing. So when you look back at last year, there's not much there. This is why childhood felt endless. Everything was new. Every day was worth remembering. But as an adult, routine really has killed perceived time. The weeks blur together because your brain is literally deleting them. So here's something, kind of the uncomfortableness of it all. I mean, you have about 4,000 weeks to live, and they're accelerating. So if you want to slow it down, you need to break the pattern. New experiences force your brain to pay attention again, which is kind of funny because the irony of it all is the more efficient your life becomes, the faster it actually disappears. Comment what you're going to do this year to get out of this routine. Something crazy. I want to travel somewhere crazy. Where should I travel? Share this with someone who loves tech and loves understanding how it works. Have you ever noticed the
Anybody else get depraved in their mental thoughts really quick?
I mean, I have an
share
affinity
something
for
new that you're going to
blondes.
try this year. Oh, baby.
I mean, me and my blondes. Anyways, no. So I brought that up and I thought it was cool because I mean, like, we always say like, oh my gosh, I can't believe Christmas came so quick this year, or hey, here's 4th of July again. So I mean, yeah, it makes sense that it's
You know
our
what?
brains just
This
like
is what we're
chunking.
going to do this year. We're going to use that claymore that Joe's got to behead somebody for real.
Yeah.
I
So-
think you're also more
You'll
aware
never
of
forget your first beheading.
I think you're more aware of time and what to expect because the older you get, the more you're aware of, things need to be done. I got to do this. I've got
Yeah.
these things going on. When you're a kid, it's just like, what's going on today? It's a
I don't
new
know.
adventure.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, if you think about it, it's
Hijinks.
like, if you think about it, it's like you're almost kind of like sectioning it to each holiday, where like, hey, here comes, here's New Year's, and then Valentine's Day, and then St. Patrick's Day, and then like you got to do tax day, and then May comes around, all this stuff. So when she's talking about the new experiences, I think that's what I see. I could really relate to it with Freemasonry is just because it's like, okay, if you really challenge yourself in Freemasonry, whether it's like learning a new ritual or floor work, joining a new body, whatever it is, that really does break up the monotony.
Well, it does. It does. I can see that. When you see a degree for the first time and it's all new, that
Yeah.
is a very memorable moment.
Yeah, that's all I heard from that lady was like, keep joining appendant bodies. Keep joining. There's
Buy more
degrees out there.
pins.
There's more degrees out there. You got to catch them all.
Yeah, seriously.
Go to a 3rd degree in every state.
Yeah.
Go and travel something new. Yeah, I wonder if there's a lodge nearby wherever I'm going.
Right? More of the same. I wonder if they're fighting over green beans.
Yeah, basically.
Could be.
So yeah, no, I just think it's just cool, and it really does inspire us because I mean, yeah, like as we become older adults, time does really go.
It
seems
makes
to
a lot of
fly.
sense what she was saying. That chunking part where it's like your brain is not really remembering. Not that, Wes.
No, never mind.
But if you look at like, think about it, like you said, we're really traveling from holiday to holiday, and you don't remember anything in between.
Yeah.
Well,
You go
and
from
you throw,
family
like,
party to family party, or
yeah, you throw everybody's birthdays and stuff, family parties, and then your whole year is already planned out where you already know what your year is going to look like and what you're going to do. So, it's nice to add a few new things, if you can hit a new Masonic event or join an independent body that, and then that year you have something new to get into. But yeah, shoot. Yeah, it's really easy to get lost in the monotony of the daily life, man. And just you're doing the daily grind and you do it every day, and weeks go by and a month goes by and it feels like days go by.
Yeah. Well, dude, yeah, week after week, I can already like in between lodge meetings feels like nothing now. I feel like there's not enough time in the year for me to do everything I need to do. And it's one of those things like, man, it's like I feel like I just had a meeting last week.
And
Why am I having a
especially
meeting this week?
especially when you're meeting once a month and, your worshipful master, like, you definitely don't have enough time.
Well, no, it's not
I mean,
even
even if you did
yeah.
have that second meeting all the time, you would still feel like, I don't have enough time to get everything I want done.
Yeah, no, and we're meeting twice a month, and it's not even
Oh, you are? Because usually you guys are just once a month.
so Villa Park, our stated meeting is once a month, but I've introduced this year is,
Like a fellowship meeting,
it's a
basically.
fellowship meeting, but mostly we've been using it to practice ritual or to do a discussion on specific topics or whatever it might be. And on top of that, I'm having officer meetings once a month. So it's like I'm having 3 meetings a month just for my lodge. Then I've got Grotto. I don't go to High 12 anymore, and it's unfortunate because I just don't have time. I haven't been to Keystone in forever.
You're worshipful, so that really just is
Yeah, but in
expected.
general, like I've abandoned other things to make it feel like I have more time for something that I already feel like I don't have enough time for.
No, but I mean, but you get it though, because I mean, you are in the east of of a body, and like for me, as I get up in the line for Grotto, and especially when I'm Grand Monarch, goodbye guys, I ain't gonna be seeing you guys for a whole fucking year.
Yeah, but that year's gonna go by so quick for us. Not for you, because it'll be an all new experience.
Yeah, yeah, which is a good and a bad thing.
Well, wait, what do you mean only 1 year? I'm guessing once you get closer towards, like, 5 years away, we're not gonna be seeing a lot of you.
No, from what I've been seeing, and obviously I'll probably just like, um, I'll probably eat crow when I say it, or or whatever. But like I know, like, just kind of like the bottom half of the line, you're just there, whatever. And then once you get kind of like 4 years out, okay, a little bit more is expected from you. 3 years out, same thing. I feel like once you become deputy Grand Monarch, then you really start needing to ramp up, and then obviously Grand Monarch, yeah,
No,
you
but
gotta stay.
in general, like your your duties to the grand body will still lead you around us.
Yeah,
You just may not be here on the podcast as much or, whatever it might be, but in general, like your path of what you're traveling still takes you through the grotto. You still have a home grotto, whatever that might be. You may not be around as much, but we'll still see you.
yeah,
Yeah, well, you'll have to phone in from whatever hotel you're in, from whatever state, from somewhere, dude. You're gonna be doing a shit ton of travel, which is
Or,
awesome.
we'll just have Amanda on. It's fine.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine. We'll just have Amanda on.
Yeah, I'm gonna no. Yeah. Is there, is there
Hey, listen,
anything
talking to Amanda, I've noticed she's more depraved than Mark is.
She is, but she keeps on the appearances.
She does.
So, last one here that I'll share is I thought it was just kind of funny.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Mark thought it was funny.
The Chinese Freemasons.
What the
Yeah, basically, I mean, like if you read around the thing, it says Philippine Tik Lam Grand Mason Incorporated, Northern Manila branch.
branch?
Yeah, and I think it's just basically, um, this guy
Is this
pretty much.
like Chinatown Freemasonry?
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically.
Well,
And,
what
and So
I mean
Quincy,
that in the nicest clandestine manner, possibly.
yeah, it's nice clandestine, not like Stony Island clandestine.
Yeah.
But basically, Quincy M.A. Brewer says they are a fraternal secret society that chose the name Freemasons to distance themselves and their reputation from Sun Yat Sen. I don't know what that is. They have nothing to do with the Freemasons other than taking the name and sometimes using the square and compasses symbol, from what I can tell. It was used mostly as a way of making the organization seem more palatable to Western opinions. One of my lodge brothers, also a chapter companion, is also a member of the Chinese Freemasons in Boston's Chinatown as an active participant of their lion dance team.
So, I have a question for you.
So this is
And that
straight up like
hold on,
China.
go back down, Mark. Go back down to it.
Oh,
So if this
wow.
guy is a actual Freemason and a chapter companion, right?
Yeah.
Is he sitting in clandestine lodge with Chinese Freemasons, even though they're not really Freemasons?
I don't
think he's
know.
just
That's a weird gray area if you think about
or
it.
if he ran into one of the members, like, hey, they're wearing maybe the guy had that in his hand and he started asking him questions. The guy just spilled the beans. Could be
Well,
too.
dude, if like in Chicago, man, the Chinatown Lodge is right there. I've seen it. I've
It is.
taken pictures of myself sitting on the steps of it before. Like,
But see, and that's the thing is like, so from what I understand, like they're an organization that's not really Freemasonry, but they call themselves Freemasons to make it more palatable to the Western culture, right?
Yeah.
If it's not actual Freemasonry, but they're calling themselves Freemasons, is it clandestine masonry?
I
Gross.
think, in my opinion, I don't think so. Because
Wait, say that
it's
again
like
then.
So
you
if
got
they
McDonald's.
if they're calling themselves Chinese Freemasons, right? If they're not participating in anything that is even close to Freemasonry, and the only thing tying them to Freemasonry is the name, are they considered clandestine Freemasons?
Yeah, because they're not under the auspices. Butchered
but
that.
they're
I'm saying
not
is-
but they're
But
not
they're not
dispensing
performing any
degrees.
ritual or any dispensing degrees or anything like that.
They're not trying to collect
As long as
money.
they're
I mean,
not
well,
ritual Masons.
They're okay. And in
Because according
technical
to
terms,
this,
no. But if they're calling themselves Freemasons,
because according to
and
this,
none of them are, then in our terms, I
one
would
of the
say
lodge
yes.
brothers is a brother of a Masonic fraternal lodge, right? A chapter companion. So he's in Freemasonry. And he's also a member of Chinese Freemasonry, which is in this person's post. He says they're a fraternal secret society that chose the name Freemasons to distance themselves from the reputation of something else and make it more palatable to Western culture, right? So the only reason that they have Freemasonry is just to say, hey, we're not so bad,
We're a
but they do
secret
nothing that's actual Freemasonry, right? They're not pretending to be Freemasons.
Okay.
They just have Freemasonry in the name.
Then,
Is
then,
that clandestine?
then I
I'll
would
take
say
it as
in name only, yes, but in actuality, then no.
So
Yeah.
would you be sitting with clandestine Freemasonry
I
by
don't
sitting
believe
in a meeting for
I
Chinese
don't
Freemasonry?
believe so, because if
I don't
they're
think so.
not doing anything close to our ceremonies, then no. It's just like having a book named the same thing or two movies named the same thing that are, have two different scripts.
Yeah,
Songs have that. You're never going to get away from that. It's like the 7 notes in music. You're never going to get away from it, no matter what octave you go to. Well, this just happens to be one of those kind of,
It's
I
the
don't even
same
want to
notes,
say
yeah.
misunderstanding, but
yeah. So is
they
it
chose that for the reason you explained.
Yeah, so basically what I'm thinking is it's like Southside, Freemasonry or the Clandies. That's more of a remix versus this is an interpolation.
It's
This
not,
is like
but
in name
okay.
only.
it's in name only.
Yeah, in name only. They, that's it. And it's just because of an odd coincidence and
Because
maybe
that's like same
a
type of thing.
linguistic misunderstanding.
Is the WWF the WWF or is it the World Wildlife Foundation?
Well, my understanding is Vince shouldn't
like,
have just fought that. He should
what
have
I'm
just said
saying is
okay and just
WWF kind of classic thing, like it was this,
It was
and
an
then
era.
it is WWF in a different era is a completely different thing because it's not even wrestling, right? Is that considered clandestine wrestling? No.
WWF never was wrestling.
Whoa,
But there's the other
whoa,
thing. There's the other thing though too,
No,
because I mean, as a former high school wrestler, you know,
Yes,
and
I
watching
was
like
also a high school
Greco-Roman,
wrestler.
you know, Greco-Roman and freestyle. Obviously, you know, you call that wrestling, and then not, you know, you got WWF and all the other ones. Yeah, you may call it wrestling, but is it true wrestling? You know, like
Listen, nothing about wrestling. Listen, the only thing about wrestling that's fake is the storyline. Your body still takes a beating.
it does.
It does. You got to be an athlete. You got to be a monster.
You
to
gotta
do
be
that
a
shit.
you gotta be
I
I'm not
can't take
denying
anything
that.
away from them. The thing is that okay, at the time I'm thinking of in the 80s as a kid, WWF was the thing. But the thing was, it was a show. WCW, NCW, NWA,
It's
all
a
that.
show, yeah.
It's all a show.
That was more wrestling than it was what WWF was presenting. They were presenting characters. They were presenting storyline. They were doing it as early as that. You know, think of Doink, The Undertaker, all that stuff. I mean, they were doing it and it was entertainment. But the other stuff was more like, I don't want to say real wrestling because all of it's real. You know, they're taking bumps, they're getting bruises, but it's just different style.
Yeah. So
But,
yeah.
And it had nothing to do with Freemasonry, but we talked about it anyway.
Yeah. It's fino. Freemason in name only.
Yeah, brother.
You want to get rid of this?
Yeah.
The screen. And this isn't on Reddit, but I asked you guys, and Eric is the only one that answered me. So Eric, don't.
No, I got
you. Your ritual thing that I answered?
He did.
Did
Yeah,
you
Mark,
answer it?
Yeah, Mark answered.
Okay, well then let's go through it again because I think it will be good for
I
this.
told
It's
you
not
I
on
answered
Reddit.
it. It's not my forte.
Well, okay. Does it? Okay, you know what? The heck with it. I'll just read it.
Yeah, go ahead.
And give us your opinions in the comments too. Hold on.
You need me to read it?
No, my hair's making everything difficult right now.
His long flowing locks.
This is long flowing locks. Yes.
All right.
Long
Vanilla
hair don't
Sassoon
care.
over here.
All right. The rituals, mystic ties use the rituals, mystic ties use symbolism to teach Masons to achieve union with the divine. Do you guys agree with that statement?
Well,
Or
let me go
what's
with
your
my short.
experience?
Let me go with my short answer with that one. And I basically said like, besides like the surface level stuff that I encounter with all the degrees that I've done, whether it's, you know, Blue Lodge, Scottish Rite, York Rite, Grotto, Widow Sons, any of that, it's just more like really surface level for me. And you know, as I told you guys, it's like,
So you're more about the fraternal tie.
I'm more about the fraternal ties than the esoteric side of things, which I'm not obviously knocking you guys, you know, if you're more into the esoteric side, it's just not my, you know, not my cup of tea.
Brock's into conspiracy theories.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I could read my answer because I don't think I would answer it same word for word, but it said my response to that question when we went through it was it depends a lot on your personal purview. One could say it prepares us to interact with the divine that surrounds us every day. When we pray to God, are we really asking God to solve our problems, or are we asking for the wisdom to see the problem and the strength to resolve it? I truly believe that the divine surrounds us, and the degrees and working tools are merely a lens through which we can see the acts of the divine and teachings of how to interpret and interact with it to enhance our mortal beings to bring divine light to others. And then, Wes, of course, you were looking for some expounding on that, which you said, which part gives or alludes to that teaching. And I said, as far as the divine surrounding us, that's more religious teachings. But through the working tools, we are taught to divide evenly amongst the rest. Our usual vocation, service, it forms better, more rounded individual that can think and act more clearly. In that clarity, we can see what we need to work on in ourselves. When we receive the square, we're taught to act uprightly in our actions toward mankind. These interpretations of the working tools lead me to believe that through our workings with the divine that surrounds us all, we are able to allow that light to shine brighter on mankind through our actions. I believe it that how we act in public as Masons really bring our own divine light to the world, and our teachings and ritual are meant to brighten our light. It's rudimentary, but I'm a simple kind of guy. So, overall, I think honestly, our what we learn in the esoteric part of our rituals, it's not for everybody. It's not the public. Obviously, it's not a tiled lodge, so I can't really speak too widely of it. But with our working tools and our rituals, I want to say that gives us the building blocks to create a better mortal being in us. And in becoming a better mortal being in us, we can spread that ability to the world around us, which, if you believe in Christian teachings, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth is divine. Our actions every day can be contrived as divine actions of God. If, like I said, if somebody's praying for something, they may be praying for $1 million or money to pay for their bills or something like that. But what they're really praying for is the ability to take care of their family. If our teachings teach us to be more charitable towards mankind, we might be answering somebody's prayers and not even knowing.
Brock, do you have an opinion or a thought? Do you need me to read it again or no?
Brock's over here like, what?
Yeah.
I know I kind of said things a little fast. I was trying not
Well,
to.
I'm like, yeah, here, I was
Okay.
trying to find it in our chat so I could go back so I could try to read it a second. Here, I found it. So,
The
um,
ritual's mystic
of course.
ties use symbolism to teach Masons to achieve union with the divine.
Yeah, I think in the chat I was asking, what we're, I don't think that there's anything in our degrees that are gonna teach you anything mystically divine, or like, there's nothing in Freemasonry that's gonna, I don't know. I mean, there's things that you can see or do in Freemasonry, or you can catch a certain, I don't know, thought maybe that could take you somewhere, but there's nothing really in the degrees that brings you divinity, like that's gonna be like, oh my God, that like shows me, I don't know, maybe not. Maybe that's not true. Yeah, it's such an introspective thing. Like it can be true on so many different levels for different shit.
But again, that brings us to the beginning of this video when we were talking about each individual Mason's journey is his own.
Yeah,
It is.
So
Yeah.
again, what Mark sees is fraternal ties could be the fraternity itself and the brotherhood. What I see as fraternal ties is my ties to manhood or mankind through the religion. Brock could see ties through however he sees it.
Well, like
It's all individual thought and
yeah,
what you
exactly.
gain from it. Yeah.
Yeah, like think of the lodge and like the, I don't know, the magical space of the lodge room, as in like all the members have done basically the same ritual in the same building in the same spot, and then like the anxiety you feel standing before the door and then like walking in, like, so like there's certain things you
That
can feel
that's a
being
tie.
alone.
We've all
Yeah,
done the same thing,
yeah, exactly. So, but
but what you
as you're
gain
going
from it
through,
is your
yeah,
own.
exactly, exactly. So there's like things that are meant for the degree for you to have a feeling, and then like when you're at the door before you knock, like there is a feeling that you have, and it's different for everybody, but it's also kind of similar for everybody. And then you go into the next thing, and your brother's guiding you, and then you feel the guidance and the security of a brother holding you firmly when your feet aren't So you're like, okay, I can trust it. Then well, before you trusted me, you should be trusting in God, so then you go through that. So as you're going through the thing, like, does that bring you to divineness, or is it teaching you, like you're saying, the working tools that you're bettering yourself that's making you more divine? Or like, because it's not just giving it to you, but through the journey is hardening you through the process,
Well, and that's part of if you look at the pillars of the lodge, the main pillar being wisdom, the master of the lodge. Wisdom is gained through not only experience but introspection. You can't gain wisdom without participating in something, right? You're not going to gain. You could gain knowledge, but gaining knowledge doesn't make you wise. We
No.
we all have more knowledge than the Library of Alexandria at our fingertips, and we have lost wisdom
Yes, we
to
have.
time because
A lot of
nobody.
dumb people.
It's not even dumb. It's inexperienced. It's people who haven't. You don't gain the knowledge. You don't gain the wisdom. You like you might know that fire's hot, but you don't gain the wisdom not to touch it until you've touched it.
Yeah.
Right. So I think wisdom has been lost on mankind because everybody is so stuck behind a computer screen that they think they're smart because, oh, I've got all this knowledge. I know it, but you don't really have the wisdom to apply it.
Well, to go along with that, and I'll bring it back to the question I asked. I got into an argument with somebody on one of the At Refreshment posts.
Keyboard warriors.
They started saying something that I'm just like, oh, well, all the secrets are on the internet. I'm like, well, no kid, but whatever. And then he started going on. I erased everything because I got aggravated with the guy. And I'm just like, well, if you watch highlight reels of any sport or watch a game or attend a game, does that mean you're a professional baseball player or a football player because you watch somebody perform something? No, absolutely not. You can't perform on the level. You can understand, you can see it, you can read everything you want, do all the analytics, but unless you've actually done it, you have no idea what you're talking about. You are an armchair warrior. You don't know what you're talking about.
Knowledge of the ages, no wisdom to apply it.
Right. And I think all that stuff just makes us stupid. But back to the divinity thing.
But again, that leads back to where we were talking about with the lodge. You could have all the knowledge on the internet about the secrets of Freemasonry, but until you've gone through the degrees, you're not going to have the wisdom to apply it.
Dude, that was me, man. I read all the books. I read all the shit. I knew what the degree was going to be like. And then I was still fucking so nervous. And I'm like, what, dude, what if it's not? What if there's something that wasn't in the book? Or like, I just don't understand how or why, what makes that like doing the ritual. I don't understand what makes that like part, like, and just going through it was like the uncomfortableness and like the vulnerability of everything was like,
It's
oh
very
my
vulnerable.
God, dude. You're like,
it's like touching fire.
This is like, yeah, you can't read this in a book. And like, or like learning the catechism, like you're going back and going through the degree and you're gaining that knowledge of the degree and understandment of what you did and why you did it, But until you do it, you just are like,
it's like
I heard about it.
It's like being a sailor, right? You could be a sailor. You could know everything about sailing from your childhood through the point where you start working for a company. And yet the person everybody listens to is the grizzled, scarred veteran who's been on a boat 30 years.
Yep.
Because he knows more about that ocean than you do.
Isn't it funny that Max is the one that brings up sailors?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm not drinking this time. I spit out my drink.
I love you. I love you guys. I love you. All right, bye.
Yeah, well, yeah, I just say it. Oh, but
you get a porta potty, Wes.
The there's nothing in our ritual that hints to me that this is a saving ordinance, like taking sacrament or doing communion. Those are ordinances that you're doing because you're hoping to be saved by divinity. In this case, Jesus Christ. Okay. We don't try to convince anybody, nor does any of our ritual hint at you will be saved or you have the potential of meeting God. It's hoped for. It is alluded that it is hoped for because at the end of the
Funeral.
the funeral ritual, at the end of it, we mentioned the lodge on high. Well, because one of the other things we don't ask in the petition is, do you believe in an afterlife?
Not
But
built
you have to
not built
believe
with
in an
human
afterlife.
hands.
Right. So the lodge on high, that's the only thing that I can think of that would signal divinity to me or being one with divinity. But heaven or lodge on high doesn't specify a creator or notes which creator it is, or if there is one in the lodge waiting for you. We just say lodge on high, and there's nothing more to it other than that. Unless I'm wrong, unless there's something else in another ritual in another state that I'm not aware of, which is definitely possible.
No, yeah, actually, to kind of go along with that, I think if anything, I feel like Masonry actually kind of got me more into my faith than anything else.
I
Like beginning of this video, I said like Methodist, with a hint of Catholic. Um, um, Eric and Brock, I don't think you guys are, but I mean, Wes, I know, both of us are commandery, and like especially like in the commandery degree, like the Order of the Temple, they talk about Golgotha, the place of the skull, Simon Cyrene, who took the burden of Christ's cross, stuff like that, where you're just like, oh, okay, you're kind of like really getting in deeper into into Christianity. And like, I felt like, okay, I heard that in commandery. Then when I heard it in the Bible, I'm like, oh, my ears perked up. Like, oh, okay. Like, this is, I can
mean,
see where this is,
the
kind of
commandery
interspaced.
itself is not core Freemasonry, though.
No.
That's an appendant body where you choose to follow your faith,
Yeah.
right? But that's not like core Freemasonry does not deal with religion
I
unless you're
would
dealing
agree
with
with you though, Mark, on that though. When I did join commandery, I thought the same
Oh yeah, I
thing.
forgot you did.
The cool thing of the Christianity, yeah, that whole part, and like, yeah, that was a whole really cool element of all that. Yeah, it was really cool. Which I thought was going to be like super overpowering and something weird by what everybody always says about it, but it was like very subtle and like very elegant the way that they do it all, and it's like very respectable to Christianity. So it was like, yeah, this is cool. Yeah, this is very cool.
Yeah.
Now, there's one thing, it
The
doesn't
Templar
allude.
degree is wild.
I have not
Yeah.
I have not gotten my I have not headed towards commandery as of yet. I do plan on doing it. I just
It's
me
it's
intense.
personally,
awesome.
It's
I'm kind
intense.
of I found myself getting a little bit too far over my head with all the things I joined right away, becoming a Freemason, that I decided to,
Yeah.
hey man, I really need to stop and enjoy
Yeah,
what I
take a break.
have and understand things before I start moving forward with
yeah.
more things.
Well, that's what I thought when you were talking about being master and having to step back from all the appendant bodies. I'm like, dude, you're a super Mason. You're on this show. Of course, you're in every appendant body. Of course, you have to
I'm
step
not part of
back.
it. Listen, I'm in New York, right? I'm in the grotto. I'm in high 12. When I got to the point where I joined chapter, and Marty's like, yeah, join cryptic council. I'm all like, whoa. There's more.
Yeah.
They're like, hey
Well-
man, I can only afford the things I got right now. let me work on this first.
Well, I'll say this, and then we can end this Reddit thing. So I don't know if you heard me say it before, but it doesn't point to divinity, but our first, well, especially the third degree, definitely alludes to like a Christian faith. Okay,
I could agree with that.
It was written that way specifically because at the time Freemasons were obviously being accused of not being compatible with Christianity even before 1717. And it was one of the reasons why they came up with the third degree, according to Christopher Earnshaw. But anyways, so the way I see it, and I may have to cut this out, but I believe that our penalties coincide with what happened to Judas Iscariot.
I was just thought he was hung.
That's all I thought.
Well, there's 4 accounts in the Bible. Okay. Judas hung himself. Okay. So he's hanging. Okay. I'll definitely cut this out. All right. He's hanging. Then he goes, but before that, he kissed Christ. And Christ says, would you betray me with a kiss? And later on, he went back with the 30 pieces of silver and told them that he was wrong, that he couldn't help himself. He had to give the money back. He did wrong. He needed to repent of his sins. They told him to get out, and he left the silver, and they took the silver. What happened? All right. There's also an account where he hangs himself, and it says that his bowels fell from thence.
I got 2 passages here. Matthew 27:5, it says, he then threw down a piece of silver in the temple and departed and went and hanged himself.
Right.
And then Acts 1:18 says, now this man purchased the field with the wages of inequity, and falling headlong, he burst open in the middle, and all his entrails gushed out.
Okay. Right. Now, the second degree, like I said, he went back when he gave them the 30 pieces of silver. He was heartbroken. By giving up Christ. That's the way I see it. I could be completely wrong and just reaching, but to me, it makes sense. It alludes to the penalties of giving all these secrets up. You will be a Judas.
And scene.
So,
Just so Wes knows where he's at.
Yeah. So, all that. That's just my take on it. But with that, I think we're going to call it a night and say
Shots
goodbye to
out?
everyone.
No
Oh, do you
shots?
want to do shots out? Okay, we can do that.
Might as well.
All right. Well, have at it.
Let's see who's a good shout out to this time. Yeah, for somebody who says that we should, I have nobody. So
I'm breaking out the good stuff.
Oh,
today.
you know what? I do have somebody. So today is a February 26th of 2026. Tomorrow is Friday, and tomorrow is actually going to be my wife Amanda's first meeting as worthy matron. So shouts out to her.
Ooh, nice.
Shouts out. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Miss Victoria. Mrs. Victoria.
Brock, do you got anybody or Eric or?
Yeah, you know what? He may never see this, and who knows if he'll ever get shown this. But for the religious people in my life, Pastor Bill, the gentleman who married us, me and my wife.
Yeah.
He was associated with Freemasonry. He was in Demolay, and he even gave a nice spiel. He gave a whole nice spiel about why so mote it be makes whatever sense during my wedding vows. So,
Nice.
Excellent.
Shout out.
Nice. Brock, are you good?
Let's do a shout out to the guys from Time for Fellowship. Thank you guys for letting me crash your guys' booth at the Conference of Grand Masters.
Oh yeah, shout out to those guys.
I totally thought he was going to say crash the couch.
No, dude, I just lurked their booth. Anytime I had free time and I was down and there wasn't like something I need to be photographing, I was hanging out with them, shooting the shit, and I went out to dinner with them both nights. So thank you guys for your great hospitality. I had an awesome time. And shout out to any new listeners from the Conference of Grand Masters. Thank you guys for watching our show.
Yeah,
thank you. Well, this one's going to go out to Marty
What
because
a rad event that was.
I'm sure by the time this comes out, we're going to, his event, wrestling announcer event will be filmed, which we're doing this coming Saturday. So, Marty, congratulations and shout out to you.
Cheers, Marty.
Cheers, Marty.
Congratulations, Marty. Yeah, I can't wait for that show, dude. It's gonna be awesome.
It's going to be fun. We're going to I think we're trying to do it documentary style as much as we can with the limited time.
Yeah,
we
You
have.
should do
So
you should do a car cast like what we did when we went to Indiana.
we're going
The
to,
origin history.
but we're going to do that. But I told him if that doesn't work out, we can still do the interview thing later on.
No,
Because
that's
I just got a feeling that might not, because there's just going to be so much going on.
yeah.
He's not going to have time to think and probably be going over things. So
No, I think it's like best if you like record them before, like maybe up until like maybe about
Oh,
20 minutes
the
out, and then
nerves.
and then afterwards when he's like finally decompressing.
Record
Yeah,
the
yeah.
nerves.
After will be like, "Wow, dude, it'll be awesome." Dude, dude, it'd be so badass, dude, to see Marty up there, dude, just powering housing, dude, controlling the room, dude. I bet it's just the crowd going wild. The rest, I bet it's awesome.
I hope he takes a bump. I hope he takes a bump,
well, let me end this and we'll talk.
and
from
not the Marty bump or the Yoshi bump.
Okay. All right, everyone. That's our episode. Again, this is going to be part of the Reddit Files things. These things are going to be coming out sporadically. Hope you enjoy it. Let us know in the comments. And thanks again.